Here we are. It's been 10 years since we uploaded the very first episodes of Auto-Tune the News. So what better time to do a look back at the channel?
We got to go back in time from Very Thin Ice to Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife, and we'll just surprise ourselves. How much will we beam with pride, and how much will we cringe into an abyss?
We have to watch this video. It's the oldest public video on the channel. 2007.
The cringe is too damn high.
This is so good.
With the comb.
Look how awesome you look.
The big fanny pack.
Combing your hair.
Tucked in shirt.
Looking so hot. It's so good. No one can hate on this flow.
It's because I copied it from Tupac. He wrote the whole song. I did make the beat. I was proud of this beat.
You made your own beat for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could say, in some small way, it's a precursor to what the channel ended up being. Michael's making beats.
Buy my beats. Oh man, I can hear my friends laughing. The funny thing about this video is that my friend who's beatboxing is actually Michael Alvarado from Us the Duo. They like blew up on Vine. Obviously, they're huge on YouTube as well, and you know, out in the real world, they go on tour, and they were on America's Got Talent. They blow my minds. They're amazing.
And here he is, his first brush with fame, laughing at you, karaoke.
That was my first brush with fame, just rapping in front of his beatboxing. It's funny because I feel like this character, like now, it would be like it's so played out because I'm doing like, this is a nerd, but he's rapping. What? You know what I mean? What? Like, I feel like at the time, like, this is like, when was it uploaded? In 2007. So I feel like at the time, like, this character hadn't been, like, done as much. But if I came out with this same character now, people would be like, oh, come on. Not another one of those rapping nerds.
A skinny white guy that can
What? What?
This is a video that,
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm guessing a lot of our fans just really, really haven't seen.
People from the future speaking into secret chambers. People from the future.
Is this the first video you ever green screen, Michael?
Ancient computers.
I think so, yeah.
Honestly, your key looks pretty good. It kind of looks better than our key for the debates. I don't know why.
Yeah, it does maybe look better than Auto-Tune the News, but I think the space background is what probably softens it.
Right. You dropped some cool effects on this, like the shape.
That was Attack of the Clones, Independence Day.
Yeah, this is before any worries of copyright strikes existed on YouTube.
I remember this was right after our... Wait, was that a Photoshop of an alien killing Abraham Lincoln?
It was.
I forgot about that.
That was when people still really filled out the About Me section of Facebook.
Yeah.
And where you'd actually look at it instead of someone's Facebook.
That was before Facebook was for your uncle. Ooh, that Neapolitan chord. It's one of my favorite chords still.
You dropped some really cool filters on this in Final Cut, Michael, that like we didn't really get to use on a lot of Auto-Tune News stuff because we're trying to look realistic.
In the top left corner, it looks like at the top there was no green. It's just like faded off.
Right, you didn't think to like zoom yourself in. We weren't that advanced yet.
Yeah, or we just didn't care. Oh, that nice 4:3 aspect ratio.
There's no in-screen, no request to subscribe. I don't think annotations existed yet.
It's always like cringy, feels cringy to look at yourself at any point in time, like before yesterday. Just like in 2 days, it'll be cringy for me to look at this.
You know what? Like if we went to the channel, that's maybe like the third or fourth video you ever made on the channel, and you made it basically by yourself. I don't think I helped with that at all. Maybe you ran some lyrics by me or something.
Well, I remember this song was like, this was just a song I would vibe on like in the tour van, actually, when we were on tour. We would just be like on long drives and, you know, you just like have nothing to do. You're like reading and like making up songs, like both dumb and serious in nature. So I feel like that's when the draft of Space People from the Future, and it feels really inspired by that like really old song like They Come From Space.
Right.
No, they don't come from here.
In the tour van, it was a great way to make excuses for something like, oh, who packed this microphone stand poorly last night, or who lost my phone? It must have been Space People from the Future, not me. It's a great way to pass off responsibility.
Yeah.
But you really blew it out of your song. But like looking at the bottom of the channel, this is the fourth oldest video on it. There are a couple that are private. But like really up until that point, channel had really been quiet for like a year, or like except for this one Creaky Boards video. Like what made you think in September of 2008? Because then the very first debate video was just the next month. What made you think like, okay, I'm waking up the channel instead of just like putting up
I
a
don't
video
know. I mean,
every year?
The channel was always asleep. It wasn't. I mean, yeah, there were just a couple videos. I don't know. It's kind of just an excuse to like learn to edit, to do this quadrant thing, and I just found that guitar loop that I thought was dope and like sounded. I didn't play guitar, so I was working at the studio where they had these like awesome loops that sounded real and sounded super funky. So I just played with it for a few of the videos.
I just remember having my mind blown that you taught yourself to green screen. I don't know how you did it. If you found a tutorial on YouTube, or if you just
I can't remember.
clicked around, or like you asked someone at the studio, because you guys did some video production too, right?
No, we didn't do video. Oh yeah, the other studio.
Other studio. But I remember you asked me where to buy, like, hey, where can I buy a green sheet? And I directed you to a cloth store where you buy like yards of cloth. It's still like very close to our office now. I'm not sure I even knew what you needed it for, but then like seeing this and being like, Michael can green screen.
Yeah, just figuring out how to like use these videos and green screen. That was like the best $5 I ever spent, was just like going to that store and getting that. I don't know what shade of green you call that, but we just tacked it up on the wall. Later it was underneath the bed. I can't remember why it was under the bed instead of out in the living area. Maybe just to like not bother roommates, I guess.
For a while, we even had a third roommate who I think was living in the apartment when this video came out. Do you think most of those views are post Auto Tune the News too, or like how many?
Oh yeah,
how
for
many-
sure. Nobody would have watched that. Probably had a few hundred or 1,000 views.
But also, once Auto Tune the News breaks, you like go to the channel, like, oh, what else did they put out? And it's like, oh, only 5 videos. It's pretty easy to watch all those videos.
Yeah.
Our exclusive interview with President Obama.
Okay. This is when Matt Lauer is one of the most respected journalists in America.
All right.
And not a sexual assaulting pariah. So this video is cool.
Things have really changed.
Right. I forgot that he was talking about I honestly forgot he was talking about kicking BP's ass, because this is right after the BP
Right.
oil spill, and that's why he was talking to the experts. And had he been criticized for talking to experts? Maybe he'd been criticized for being slow.
Right. He's trying to get to the bottom of responsibility, right?
Right. Obviously, he said, kick some ass once, and we just put it in every single line in the song. We just had no choice.
Sure. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, man. Annotations, RIP. It was very sad when I turned annotations off videos. So we've switched Matt Lauer out for Sarah. That's confirming that all these people are indeed ass-kicking experts. Oh man, the deadpan delivery from you is just really kills. The
Well,
second half. It's what
I
makes the
had
second
to I had to match Obama's deadpan
half. Right.
delivery.
It's perfect. That theme has come back in like a couple of our videos. I think just people love that so much, of just like switching out the interviewer with Sarah and just going through a list. That came
We
back
did do
with
that
that came back with the list in
In-
Donald Trump with
in,
Megyn Kelly.
And
Where
yeah.
he's talking about going hard and fingerboarding went hard, and you ended up talking about like a whole thing about like DNA.
But also, who's the guy from 3 Men or
Oh,
who
yeah.
went crazy?
Yeah, you came in with Charlie Sheen. So
Yeah, Charlie
it's
Sheen.
Kind of a running theme in our videos. That you are our celebrity interviewer when someone is having a really important interview. You come in.
I'm the musical listicle.
I remember making this graphic right here with all of the experts, Betty White, Tinky Winky, which that was just like a really fun hour or two, coming up with all the experts, and like it was kind of the first time that we did this mix up where like some people are truly experts at ass kicking that you'd really be terrified of, and some of them are unexpected experts, let's say, like Tinky Winky, the Lollipop Kids, Betty White. So I made this whole amazing graphic in Final Cut Pro because at the time we were too cheap to shell out and just weren't making enough money to shell out for Photoshop. Also, none of us really had used much Photoshop
Knew what
at that
to
point.
do.
And so I made this in Final Cut Pro. Some people found it very funny and like kind of got. I mean, partially it was bad on purpose. Partially it was bad just because it was bad. Some people really loved it and were like hilarious, and some people were like, "Do you guys need help with Photoshop? Like, I could help you." And I was like, maybe I should get Photoshop.
It's just funny because some of them really work. Peter Pan looks great.
Yeah.
Looks really great.
Yeah.
Totally believable.
Mr. T, I could have found a higher res picture. But, I mean, honestly, we're probably uploading this 360p, so you got to give me some measure of forgiveness. I love, honestly, my favorite is Jack Bauer coming out from behind the AK-47. And I got a rep for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Obviously, I used the Genghis Khan from Bill and Ted's.
Sure. Oh,
I'm excited about this.
I'm terrified.
Here I was across the table from Cy. This is the closest I'll ever be to greatness.
He was so much more intimidating than I expected him to be.
He was extremely cool. It's hard to describe with words exactly how cool he was in the room. I will say, as a behind-the-scenes tidbit, every shot of me we shot after Cy had already left to go do another thing.
Oh, my stomach is literally turning.
You can't watch yourself.
I can't, not like
without
this.
cringing.
I feel like
I get how you feel, but this is amazing performance by you, and it's one of our greatest hits. Our fans are crazy about this song.
I just feel like it's just too.
It's too on the nose.
Too straight, yeah, too on the nose.
You mean you should have played it sillier?
Yeah. I mean, it felt very silly to me to do this, but I think it just came across,
like
well, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay.
The original inspiration for the song was sort of like a Kesha type character.
I don't know if your hair has ever been that high since this video, so that's
This is the maximum height my hair has ever reached. I regret cursing in this video. I'll say it.
Right. I regret the amount of nipple in this video. That seems short-sighted. Yeah, I think your performance really makes this video, in my opinion.
I accept your compliment, but it's only in juxtaposition with what you're doing here.
I still own those pants.
Good
Nothing
for me.
else, though.
This is the part I really like, where we get to see how you're really pursuing me.
Yeah. She's committed.
She's totally committed. That's why I love her.
This was so fun.
Sarah legit got lowered from the ceiling by an actual crane.
And I made up that dance too. I think we only had like one take of it because of the flares.
I will say, over the years, we've heard from a bunch of DJs that love this song.
They appreciate it.
I don't think they play it in their sets because it's like a little too finger waggy.
Yeah.
But they like to listen to it in their own free time. And here comes Daystorm with the best verse we ever wrote.
True.
Good Lord, we didn't deserve this. Nobody ought to low end
with a little service.
Like
I'm so flattered that he would compare me to Lohan. Kasim.
Yeah, Kasim G.
David Bowie tonight. Shut your mouth and enjoy some songs about space flight.
You know, the loudest voice wins is the theme of this song. Lecterhan, a real agent of ours.
Yeah, we named this character after an actual agent we had years ago.
I think you're gonna like it here.
Oh.
I think my favorite thing to sing in this song was "Oh,"
which is
it's
the most direct your Katy Perry impersonation came out.
That's about as much of an impression as I can do.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I recall, we were like, can you just do some dancing? And it hadn't been agreed upon before. So he was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And the director was like, just dance with them as much as you can. And luckily, I knew some of his moves.
And I'll say, without getting into it, the room that we're filming there, that's supposed to be Cy's office, is actually Justin Bieber's manager's office. So it was kind of a big no-no that Psy just jumped on the couch and started jumping around. But he's also Psy, so no one can tell him no.
He does what he wants.
That dance was like the premiere of his dance from the song Gentleman. It was a very sort of like Soulja Boy meets Thriller, like T-Rex dance.
Just swept the nation.
Man, so many good details. Honestly, it's like watching this make me feel bad about, can I produce another song that good?
Maybe once a year, Michael convinces me to put on Sarah's suit from this video and dance in one of our videos.
The one with the wings.
I'm always really, really embarrassed, but he always manages to talk me into it.
It is really something.
Listen, anybody that wears that spacesuit that Sarah's wearing in this video with the giant shoulder pads, you look great, I have to say.
He brings out the diva in you.
It's a statement. Oh, I'm excited about this. I'm feeling patriotic already.
This is a fan favorite, but you can also tell it's one of our favorites because we perform this live in concert a lot. You shall build a turtle fence.
Well, because this one rocks, we just picked it as one that we would do in our live set. But also lyrically, it's just so straightforward and easy to understand. You shall build a turtle fence. That's what it's about. You don't have to understand a lot to get it.
My favorite thing about this guy, Pete Hoekstra, is that he's now the ambassador to the Netherlands. Oh, you guys super lined up his dance, which is amazing. Build a turtle fence. The more I drink, the more this Congress is making sense. We need a defense. How can we protect ourselves? You shall build a turtle fence. Is that the first
Scott
time
Brown.
we put ourselves up on the congressional dais? Like with me and
Singing
you
a
up there?
choir like that?
Yeah. And later we even
you
promoted
mean up on the
ourselves to be
dais.
like the Speaker of the House. Scott Brown was so proud of driving his truck, man.
Yep. It was a key part of his campaign.
I can't help but look at like all the borders and edges that I've become like super obsessed with lining up like perfectly in the last 10 years. Like how they're really like really jump around in our early videos, which like really doesn't matter that much, but I'm just like so OCD about it now. Oh man, this is an underrated part of this video. Not this
It
part.
was all destiny. The best ownership, best coach, best team.
That part's properly rated, but this part is strictly disallowed, except for swimmers and sexy turtles. I mean, if you go on TV and like the second thing you say is like, by the way, we have the best ethics laws, that is a clue that
What it
you've
is,
had
it-
some problems with your ethics in your state.
It leaves a lot of things
In the state of
unsaid
Louisiana.
about how you got to a place where you needed the ethics laws.
Yeah. And also, like, at the time in like 2009, 2010, Bobby Jindal, people were like, wow, like, ooh, he could be a rising star in the Republican Congress. He even gave like a rebuttal to a Obama State of the Union.
Well, that was the beginning of his fall.
And now, like, Louisiana is just like totally bankrupt. Like, there was like a ton of corruption in his administration. Like, they definitely did not have the best ethics laws, it turns out.
Turtle fence. It's just become one of those crucial choruses that stands the test of time. The fans always be tweeting us about it, letting us know about other turtle fences going up in different geographies.
This was such a fan favorite that for much of 2009 and 2010, before some of our videos broke bigger than us, when I would be recognized on the street, sometimes by fans, you kind of wouldn't know when to end the interaction. Like, how do you say goodbye? It can be kind of awkward because I really appreciate it when people came up and said, hey, I love your stuff.
Yeah.
But then you talk for like 30 seconds, then you'd be like, oh, okay, see you around.
See you later.
And so I started just going like, hey man, you shall build a turtle fence, and walking off. And it was like, they loved it. They were just like, yeah, build a turtle fence. Or like, we need a rattlesnake fence. It was just a great way to end conversations. And I remember a year or two later, after our videos had kind of broken out to the next level, a fan came up and recognized me. And at the end of the conversation, I was like, you shall build a turtle fence, man. And they were just like, what? Like our early fans like all knew this video. But once like Double Rainbow and
Once-
Better Intruder
yeah.
broke, people were just like, what are you talking about, a turtle fence?
Okay, let's cut.
He's now the ambassador to the Netherlands.
This is the Netherlands. You have to answer questions.
Please, this is not how it works.
Did it answer his question? Did it answer his question?
Or
If
not
we don't
this.
have any further questions, then we can
We
move
do.
on.
No,